What up, YouTube? Darthub coming to you from my redstone world here, where I am going over pumpkin and melon farms in bedrock. So for the life of me, I couldn't find anything out about zero-tick pumpkins and melons. I played around with zero-tick pulses and the melons, and I could not find a way to get this guy to zero-tick. But I had played around with some other designs that I saw and mixed in some of my own, and this is what I came up with. It doesn't work too terribly bad, but it uses a lot of resources. I don't think you're going to get away from that, really. It is about the most compact you're going to get for as many as it has. And below we have single cells that I pieced together. Very simple. I'll show you how to do one. Actually, I'll show you how to do two. You can figure out one, because two is like this, and then I don't recommend doing them like this. But we'll talk about that. Alright, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and lay down the groundwork for your rails, because we're going to pick up the items that we drop with a minecart with hopper in it. And we're going to go ahead and do this number here. 2 powered rails, up and around. Oh, I did that wrong. There we go. You don't want to make it look like this. And then you can come over here with the lever, and you can throw it underneath, on the side, wherever, but as long as one of those two is powered, you're good. Next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to come over here, and so these two are going to have dirt over them. Dirt, 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 dirt. Come up. That's where our piston's going to be. So we'll go ahead and from down here, and we'll put one over both of them. From there we're going to come over here, and we're going to do this number. You'll put a repeater on both of those, and a lever on both of those. You'll see the repeaters are both on. We'll then place blocks here, here, and here. We'll put redstone dust on them. We're going to need glass or glowstone right here, and then a redstone conductive block there with redstone on both of them. You do the other side in an identical manner, like that right there. Now we want to put a block here and a block here, and we want to surround this. That's where our water is going to go. Now we'll place water in both of those, and then we'll cover them. Next we're going to till the soil on there and there, and then place our seeds. Next we will place our minecart with hopper down on the powered rails and move it, get it started. There it goes. We'll go ahead and block this up so it doesn't get stopped by anything from outside. That does not have to be glass. It doesn't matter what you use. I'm just using glass. I want to see what's going on, and I'm in creative. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cover this, okay? You got to cover it like so on both sides. And then you want to come over here, and we're going to do like this. There's a chance that you can lose items in that little space between the tilled soil and this block. I'm willing to take that chance. You can adjust yours however you want, but you need this to come up like so. You have to have your pistons covered, and I think it's probably good measure to cover that too. Okay, so now for the bigger build, I'm not going to go through the items that you'll need. Just know that there are 41 of these. You're going to need like 41 pistons. So now that I've got the square, I've got to decide which side I want my chest to be on. And I'm choosing to have my chest in the middle. You can have your chest on either side if you want. Depends what you want to do with this. If you want to make this into a bone meal farm, I would recommend having your chest on one of the sides close to the corner with all the hoppers leading directly into one. I am not going to do that with this. I'm going to place my chest here. So I'm going to have my hoppers doing this number, 2 of them facing directly in there, and the rest of the hoppers facing into those. On this side with the hoppers, we're going to go ahead and place a regular rail along the whole side. And along the right side, we're going to come like so with 2 regular rails, 3 powered rails, 3 regular rails like that. We're going to go ahead and make sure that that block gets power. So I'm going to replace the glass and throw a lever on the bottom there. And all of the powered rails there are lit. Next, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to give these rails a wrap around here and back again, like that right there. And then we will turn, and I believe we're coming all the way back this way, and there's going to be one of these is going to need to be a rail, and there's going to need to be 3 probably here. Yeah, that looks good. We'll take that out, place this, that, and throw our lever again. Once again, they're all 3 powered. Okay, so this side here, we're going to bring this like so and wrap it back down along itself with regular rails, back up and back down. Okay, now this one here is going to be a powered rail, and you can tell because it's right next to our middle block, which is raised, and you need that there because there's going to be water there. And we give it a regular rail here, 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 and here, like so. Then we come from this side, and we're going to wrap this one back down along itself like that, and then back up like this. Right there before you turn, that's where we're going to power the next one, and you only need 1 powered rail here too. I'm going to come underneath and throw my lever on. And I forgot to do that one, so we'll go ahead and there, all 4 of them are powered. Okay, then I'm going to bring my regular rails again, and we're going to finish this puppy up with a little jagged bit like that. So as you can see, we're going to have our dirt ground, 1 up off of that, so just above the cart. And then we're going to leave a space on there for our melons to grow, and right above that we're going to have pistons facing down. Now the pattern of this, it doesn't really matter. You can do the corner, or you can do not the corner. I'm going to do not the corner. So what we're going to do is like that, these 2 here, and then we're going to do a diagonal pattern, so like this. And we're going to do that all the way around. And it's a good idea to do this part before we place the dirt and start watering our. It's better to do it this way. Okay, from above, your piston should look kind of like this. Next thing, we're going to go ahead and place some dirt all around this here. Now, however you want to do this, you do it, but I recommend taking a piece of track out, like here, and coming up here to do this part, but then you go ahead and place a bucket of water right down here in the center, like that, and then cover it up with a temporary block. You can probably use something like a jack-o'-lantern to light things with. And you would be probably placing blocks like that and replacing your track as you go. That's the only time you're going to see me do it. And if you'll notice here, our corners are out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and come over here with our till and our seeds, and we're going to till the corners and plant our seeds in those spots. Then we're going to go ahead and bring the dirt around. We're going to wrap it all the way. With that wrapped, we'll go ahead and till all the checkered spots there, only the spots that have no piston above them. And you can plant your seeds as you till. And we're going to continue this process all the way around. Now that we've got that part done, we're going to want to go ahead, place our cart with hopper on the track, set it going, and then we're going to want to cover this all up. Once again, you do not have to use glass here. You do not have to use glass in any of this. I just like to see what's going on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to these corners here, and I'm going to give some water to these guys and make them well and hydrated. You don't have to do this part, but I'm just going to assume that keeping them better hydrated will increase your grow rates. Once again, this is not a zero tick farm, so you want to do anything you can to increase the grow rates of the melons and or pumpkins. So if you really want to, you can add more water, but if you do, don't do it in a block right next to the tilled soil. Do it in a spot like, say there, right next to just the dirt. That way you won't have any loss between the tilled soil and the block here. Notice you can see right through there. You can lose product through there. Next thing I do at this point is I go ahead and cover this guy up because your melons will be growing. If you want to throw any kind of bone meal on them, you might want to go ahead and do that at this point. You could wait to do it until you've got this built up and hit them from above, because each one of them is in, you know, their own designated little hole. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come to all the tops of these pistons, and we're going to place a piece of redstone dust on each of them. You've got two options. You can start from the inside and go out, or you can work from the outside and go in. I'm going to show you from the inside out. So if you want to go step by step, you don't want that there. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter in that block, but you really don't want anything right here. It will stop that from growing. So we'll go ahead and start here in the middle. So we'll place a block there, and notice that will touch all four of those pieces of redstone dust. Go ahead and place a piece on there, and you'll notice that you've got that pattern. Okay, so then we're going to go to the first one not touching that. Okay, you got this here on the corner, so we'll go ahead and place our block on the side of this redstone like so. Place our redstone dust on top, and notice the pattern that it made. Okay, so then we'll come over here and we'll do that here, and notice how we're doing it just outside. So like you're not crossing, you know what I mean? Trying to use the space as good as we can. And there's another one, and as you throw the redstone dust on it, you get a feel for if you're doing it right. And we'll come over here to this one. And then you look like that right there. You know you got it. And then we'll come over here to the sides, and I'll come from that side there. And we'll do the corners too. So the corners in the very middle block on each side. Now we'll put redstone dust on those, and you'll see as you go it fills up all the holes. So now we're all connected by these blocks here. So these ones here don't have to be glass. I like them to be glass because they let the sunshine through. But these next ones here do have to be glass, okay? So what we're going to do from this part right here, we're going to go ahead and come up, and we're going to bring that across until it hits both of those corners there. Next, we're going to come to this side, and we're going to bring it down to there. And we're going to do that here too. And then over on this side, we're going to do the same. We'll throw redstone dust on all that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over to the center one, and we're going to put blocks here. Once again, these blocks here, every block that is the first one up that cuts this redstone off has to be transparent. And because signal has to go down, it has to be glass. But then we'll throw dust on those. Now the next thing we've got to do is we've got to connect these two out here. You can do this however you want to. You can bring them from the center there, or you can bring them from sides. Separate sides, same side, it does not matter. Now this right here, this block has to be glass. And now you give power to it somehow. And you will see that every single piston has pushed down. Okay, so from here we're going to come off of this block with a repeater. Actually, we'll take that off of there, and we'll put a repeater right here into a block up. Put this, actually, you know what? We'll come over here like so. And on this block is going to be a torch right there, and that extends everything. And on this block we will place our lever and flip it. Next we're going to come down like this, 3 out, 3 back in. We will place 1 repeater, or comparator, 2 comparators, 3 comparators, 4 comparators, facing just like I did, with dust there, there, and there. That's a pulse extender. And leading into the pulse extender, we will have a repeater on 4 ticks with a block up right there. And then right here we're going to want a sticky piston facing this way with an observer on that facing this way. And when you give that a flip, you'll see it slowly pulses down. Pulse, they extend, and you're good. So after filming this, I played around with these farms a little bit, and I realized that I forgot a few things. If you'll notice, this has a hopper with a chest on it. I forgot that before. One thing you want to make sure of when you put this hopper in is that it is, 1, underneath one of the rails, and 2, not touching the block that you powered for those rails. Okay, both of those things are quite important, otherwise it will not function. Okay, over here I've got what it looks like when you stack them. Okay, so you've got 1 here, and then this is the far side of it. I skipped 1, put the next one facing the same way. The reason I did that was for the tracks. If I staggered them, then it would be funkier underneath, and this, to me, looks like it saves a little bit of resources. This farm, I noticed that it was losing quite a bit out the sides. Okay, now what I did was I came over here and I placed a block, not necessarily here, but up against every piece of tilled soil you are going to want a block. Okay, and then I thought that was going to fix my problems. That did not fix my problems. Up here, so you still don't want a piece, you don't want anything in between the pistons, but you sure as heck want something above that empty spot. If you do not block that empty spot, you will lose product out the side. And another thing is this right here. That piston, I had no idea you had to block off the side of it, but if you do not block off the side of it, these side pistons can still lose product out the side. If you'll notice, you got some just sitting there that this cart is not going to pick up, okay? And the reason that cart's not picking them up, if you'll see, it's turning that way here and that way here. There's a little spot right there that if they pull, they will not be picked up, okay? So that's that. There's one more piece to this farm here. If you'll notice my track, so I went ahead and in this part of the track I added 4 powered rails, and the reason for that is it was just going too slow around this area before it would hit this, and it just seemed like any little thing could get it to stop. I don't know, a glitch, a lag, something. I figured it's just better to do it like this. So if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Check out my playlists if you like this kind of content. Maybe share some of my videos with people that you think might like them. And I will see you next time. It's been real. Peace.